Once again, we're back talking about precious and gemstones. In this video, we want to talk about one of the most unique gemstones in the world, opal. Most of opal is made up of silicon, and this is the formula. As you can see in the formula, it says H2O, so there's water contents in there. Every stone is different, but you will find between 3% to 21% water inside opals. The name opal comes from an ancient Sanskrit word that used to be called opala. So you could tell this name came from ancient India and it went everywhere in the world. And throughout history, one of the most important places that loved it was Europe. You have two kinds of opals, common opal and precious opals. The common opal looks very normal and you can find it in different colors. But the precious opal is extremely colorful, and as you can see, it's very beautiful. Usually the precious opals that are worth the most are their darker kinds. And if it's black, it's the most expensive one. When we say black opals, we don't literally mean black. It just has to have a dark background. It could be black, it could be dark blue, dark green, and even dark gray. When a stone is made up of many different elements like this, they're usually considered minerals. But they never refer to opals as minerals. They're known as stone, just like a diamond. And it's kind of like a respect thing because they're much more rarer than other minerals. Because of its uniqueness, opal throughout history was always a precious stone, and it always held a lot of value. You have a lot of beautiful stones, but there are a lot of stones that are very similar to one another. But you can't find anything that's even remotely close to opal. Ancient Romans were the empire that loved opals the most. At that time, in modern-day Slovakia, there was an opal mine dedicated for the Roman Empire. And this is one of the many reasons that in Europe, a lot of people love opal. Even when you fast forward time hundreds of years into the 19th century, the Europeans still love opal. It's in the 19th century when the British enter Australia and take over. And one of the things they find is opal, so they start making mines over here. Like for example, the most famous opal at that time was the opal that Napoleon Bonaparte gave to his wife Josephina. But now you cannot find this stone anymore because it has been lost in history. Or someone has it and they don't want to reveal it just yet because the French government might be asking for it. But either way, this caused this gemstone to be even more precious in Europe. Another very famous opal in history is the one that in the year 1954 Australia found and gave it as a present to Queen Elizabeth II. Do you see this giant stone? It might not look like it, but this is an opal that has not been cut. It's called the Olympic Australis, and it's the biggest opal ever found. When they found this stone in 1956, they did not want to cut into it because how big it was. It's 17,000 carats, and that's about 3.5 kilograms. So you will not find anything like this. And that's why this is known as the biggest opal and the most expensive opal in the world. But let's go inside an opal mine and see what happens. Just like we said, the biggest mines are found in Australia. And 97% of the world's opal comes from Australia itself. Finding these stones are extremely difficult in these mines. These men could work for weeks and weeks on end and not even find a single stone. Of course, the main focus of a miner is to find a black opal. Even if they don't find a black one, they're still gonna keep it. But that's always the main goal, is to find the black opal. The most precious black opals could cost tens of thousands of dollars per carat. The weird part about finding opals in the mines is that if someone has 40 years of experience and someone just started that day, they have the same chance of finding a precious stone. Because 99% of it is luck rather than skill. In different parts of Australia, they usually dig a 10-meter well and go down there and start moving horizontally. They believe that in the 10-meter depth, it has the highest chance of finding the most precious ones. Throughout working, you find common opal all the time. But just like we said, it's not worth their time to stress about these ones. They put it to the side and continue working. But when they find this, it's not like they get demotivated and sad. They actually get more motivated because they believe when you find common opals, there's a chance to find precious opals right next to it. The most interesting part that I didn't know is that opal is even more precious than diamonds.
It's the start of the season.
Diamond being a rare gemstone is actually an illusion because this is engineered in a way to make you seem like it's rare, but it's actually a very common stone. So opal being more rare than diamond is very understandable, and that's why for the best ones per carat they will pay more than $10,000. Another interesting thing is that when black opals are found, they usually have customers very quickly because they're that much rarer. It's not like diamonds where there's plenty of them, and if you have a used one, you're gonna have to sell it for pretty cheap to get rid of it, and it's usually another jeweler buying it off of you to sell it more expensive to another guy. But for precious opal, this is not the case. Usually stone workers are the first customers in line to buy these precious opals from these miners, and just like we said, they buy it off of them, cotton polish it, and sell it to a jeweler or someone that's actually looking for this type of opal because they'll put it on their necklace, their ring, or earrings. This is the mind map of opals around the world. And just like we said, 97% of the world's opal comes from Australia. Then you have Ethiopia, Brazil, Mexico, and the US. Usually around the world, opal is found in desert-like areas, and that's why in Australia you will only find them in the outbacks, and all the mines are located there. When you look at different countries that have opal as well, it's usually in the desert biome. Like in the US, you have the Nevada desert, it's in Ethiopia's desert, Brazil's desert, and even other countries that have deserts, you will find opal, but they don't take mining opal seriously. Australia has the biggest opal mines in the world, but per year it only makes between $30 to $40 million. And for an operation that's actually this large, that's not that much money for an entire country. So you could say there's not a whole lot of profit in finding these stones. And the reason that this industry in Australia is so big is that because in the 19th century, the British began this in Australia. And from then on there, it started to grow slowly but steadily. And now you have 97% of the world's supply. So there's a reason why precious opal is known as more rare than precious diamonds. Well, let's move on to the pricing. The difference between the prices of opal is the biggest in the world because the price for each carat could be as little as 50 cents or all the way to tens of thousands of dollars. There's a chance that these stones could come from a different mine, but it's always the purity and the way it looks that puts the price on it. Just like every precious stone in the world, there are synthetic and fake ones. They're extremely beautiful and fool a lot of people. So how can we tell which opal is real and which one is fake? Because there are a lot of people that are getting scammed with these days. Some experts believe if you hold a needle, the same one that you can use, and scratch the surface of the opal, and if you don't see scratches, it's real. But if you do, that means the opal is synthetic. If you know more about it, you can grab a magnifying glass and look at the stone more closely. If everything looks well organized and everything is in a straight line, that's probably a sign that this stone is fake, because a natural stone is never uniform like this. And also, if you see cloudiness inside the stone, that's another indicator that this stone could be fake. But don't listen to anything we just said. If you're going to spend a pretty penny on one of these stones, have an expert look at it before you spend the money. So now that you've known the price, how much would you like to buy?